We have prepared a detailed model of events that will happen in the future, and now we're going to present it to you. We consider it our duty to report to you the seriousness of the situation in detail. We've deducted the scale of events based on the progression that we have been able to estimate from the increase in the number and strength of earthquakes. Further development of these events leads to the internal cracking of the Earth's crust. Through these cracks, magma will begin to rise in geometric progression you have seen in the graph. This will then lead to microfractures in the crust in some places, which will increase magmatic activity. And it will keep increasing even more until it provokes a large-scale rupture in the thinnest part of the crust, which is in the ocean. This is inevitable. There is a 99.9% probability that this rupture will occur in the area of the Mariana Trench. This is where deep focus earthquakes are registered and where the Earth's crust is the thinnest, only 5 kilometers. At first, when a small amount of water will meet magma, magma will break through the crust for the first time, exploding violently. When we say the micro-explosions will occur, we mean that, in fact, each of these explosions is equivalent to the explosion of dozens of nuclear bombs. This will destroy the thin layer of the crust beneath the Mariana Trench, but the worst thing will happen next. And to understand what happens next, we will show you an experiment. You see what happened when the water met red-hot metal? Now multiply it by 100 billion times. A gigantic volume of magma from the magma plume will rip the Mariana Trench in an instant. Billions of cubic meters of water will meet billions of cubic meters of magma. Due to the sudden breakdown of ocean water molecules, oxygen and hydrogen will be released under tremendous pressure at the floor of the Mariana Trench. A huge explosion will happen. This explosion will be equivalent to thousands of times of the entire stockpile of nuclear weapons available on Earth. Under extreme pressure, the ocean won't just boil, it will explode. This will raise a huge column of steam mixed with dust. And under tremendous pressure, this gigantic column of steam will rush so high up that it will tear through the atmosphere. The atmosphere will curl up like a blanket and will be blown away by the solar wind, meaning our atmosphere will literally be swept away along with the entire water cover. Also, at the same time, this gigantic explosion will cause a powerful hydraulic impact directed inside our planet. Because 11 kilometers of water in the Mariana Trench is an enormous pressure at the point where the explosion will take place. And that pressure will in turn be reflected in the hydraulic impact. There will be a very powerful blast wave directed into the center of the planet, into magma, which will spread tangentially and will provoke additional cavitation processes. This will lead to an abrupt expansion of magma in all directions by a factor of 10. That means that there will be 10 times more magma. This will literally tear the planet from the inside. With such an impact, magma will behave like a gaseous substance. All volcanoes, cracks, fractures, all boundaries of lithospheric plates will burst and erupt simultaneously. The Earth will be flooded with lava flows, just like as it happened on Mars. Naturally, due to the impact, the inner core will bounce away and the motion of the outer core will stop. Our planet will die. This process will take only a few minutes. Due to the stopping of the core, the electromagnetic field of our planet will disappear and the gravitational field will be almost completely gone. Therefore, all the satellites will fall from the near-Earth orbit, including the Moon. If the Moon is over the eastern hemisphere, it will be thrown away by explosion and it will be attracted by the sun. And if the Moon is over the western hemisphere, it will fall to Earth the moment the gravitational field is lost. But we, humans, will no longer be threatened by this. Because as a consequence of these events, we as humanity will already cease to exist completely. What this mathematical model is saying is that if the destruction process is slow enough and there are no other factors to trigger its acceleration, then everything we're talking about will happen in October 2036. Before your eyes, you see a timer that counts down to the time when the planet, as a living planet inhabited by life, will no longer be able to exist. And that's again provided that there are no provoking factors before that. This could be a meteorite fall, a nuclear bomb explosion, an increase in the displacement of the core, or a supervolcano eruption. Right now, the threat of nuclear war is being forced all over the world. With all responsibility, we can say that a nuclear war at this time will accelerate the apocalypse. It will cause irreparable damage. It will kill the economy altogether and contribute to the destabilization of processes within the core, accelerating them. We will just hasten our doomsday. This is not a solution. This is utter foolishness. We're depriving ourselves from the last time we can do something. Now is not the time to be divided and fight. It is the time to unite and deal with more global issues than geopolitical disagreements. We live in a time when the survival of all humanity must take precedence over the private interests of certain countries.